Hello viewers, welcome you all again in my channel Indodit Creations. Today we know a new concept of the level of teaching. So in previous class we have learned about the what is the memory level and what is the characteristics and as well as the some techniques. Now today's class we know about the next level of the teaching. Number 2 is the understanding level. So in this video we know clearly what is the understanding level, what is the characteristics of the understanding level, what is the steps of the understanding level, and as well as some techniques of the understanding level. So let's start. At first we know what is understanding. So in previous, based on the memory level, we also we store any kinds of knowledge in our memory. So this is our memory level. But in here the understanding is how you have understood of the particular object or particular knowledge. It is your own thinking. So in this here you are think yourself and you have to understand these types of topic. So this is the level of understanding. So in this here this is the level of understanding. So this is our memory level, and all knowledge is occurring their creations in our memory. First you retention any kinds of object or any kinds of knowledge in your memory, and after that you have want to be understands what is this and what will be in next. So if you think yourself and if you understood the level of next, so this is the understanding level. Next we know what is the characteristics of the understanding level. So at first this understanding level characteristics is number 1 is the teacher is the prime factor of this every teaching parts. So in this year the teachers also teach a students or peoples. So in this year the teachers in here is a so much prime. So in this year the teachers also be evaluate the teaching strategy of the students. So number 1 characteristics is the teachers also be evaluate, and teacher will also be elaborate his teaching style of the learner. So this is the prime characteristics of the understanding level. Next, number 2 is the teacher always aware about their knowledge of the students, and he also criticism this knowledge by any kinds of testings. So in this year the teachers always measure and test the students knowledge. Next characteristics is the teachers always aware to measure the understandings and their cognitive structure of the students. So this is the prime or this is the most effective characteristics. Teachers always want to know the structure or the capacity of the students of their memory. So in this year we know clearly these 3 types of the characteristics of understanding level. Next we know the steps of the understanding level. In this here the Morrisons also set up some steps for the understanding level. So in this here there are the 5 steps of the understanding level. Number 1 is the exploration, number 2 is the presentation, number 3 is the assimilation, number 4 is the organization, and number 5 is the recitation. So we know clearly those types of the 5 steps. Number 1 is here the exploration. And so in this here the explorations also we a very important. So teachers always measure the knowledge of the students and how he has learned and how to he has learned, he always measure. So in this here the exploration is the what is the boundaries of knowledge of these students. So this is how to measure by the teacher. This is called the exploration. Next is a presentation. So in this here the teachers also present a new unit to the students, and this unit is fully purely clear to the all students. That times this is called the presentation. And if the all units of knowledge is clear to the students, then he will be create or he will be open a new unit for the students. So this is the presentation stage. Next, number 3 is the assimilation. So in this here the assimilation is when any kinds of knowledge gap, any kinds of the lack of knowledge, that times the teachers always assimilate to the another type of the knowledge or another type of the concept. So in this year the teachers always aware about the assimilation part. So he also teach the student to a assimilation process. He also assimilate a new things to the others, and this is teaching is so much understandable for the peoples or for the students. Next is the organization. So number 4 is the organization. So in this year the organization is the teachers want to know how much our students have learned. So in this year he has create some test and create some examination. So in this year this organization is totally based on the teachers, but in here the measure the student capacity. So this is the organizations created by the students, and in here the organization process also be a understanding process. Next and last is the recitation. So in this year the recitation is at first when the students is also attach a new concept, or he also know the new concept, and primarily how much he has acquired the knowledge from these types of the new knowledge. So this is the recitation. So in this year he know this every part of knowledge and how to he memorize this all types of knowledge by the recitation process. So in this year recitation means he is also repeated in him every time, and he also recitated him in his mind. So this is the recitation process of the understanding level. So we clearly know about the understanding level steps. Next we know about the techniques of understanding level. So number 1 strategy is the sub unit. Number 1 is the sub unit. When a teachers also teach to the students, that times he also classified or he also be suggested to the students, always he will be always he also broken the all units as a sub unit, and this that times the students also be more effective, and he also want to be learn very effectively. Next is a create sequence. So in this year the teachers always making a create sequence to the previous knowledge to the present knowledge. So in this year the sequence is a very effective technique for the understanding level. If the sequence is a positive to the students and he can click on his mind, so that times his understanding level is so perfectly, and that times he will be know these topics very easily. Next technique is a self-learning. Teacher always motivate and always say to the students their self-learning is the best learning. So self-learning here is the best learning. If the students always learning with the self, so that time she know more than the others. So self-learning is the best strategy for the understanding level. Next and last is the teacher always improve the student motivate and student motivation. So in this year the teacher always motive to the students. So in this year the motivation is the another techniques of the understanding level. So class, today we know clearly understanding level, as well as we clearly know the characteristics of understanding level, as well as we know the steps of the understanding level, and lastly we know the techniques of the understanding level. So we know those 4 types of the concept of understanding level. So class, today I end this session here, and next day we will know the another level of teaching in next video. So take care, bye.